This is the night a champion was humbled so badly he quit blaming a broken hand.
Pathos is what I saw in the corner there.
In a defensive posture, know that he's got him pinned. Trip. Told him on.
It's usually a failed experiment to
Lomachenko.
Hard hitting the guy.
It was December 9th, 2017. Vasil Lomachenko and Guillermo Rigondeaux were both two-time Olympic gold medalists, the first time two fighters with that resume had ever met as professionals. Rigondeaux hadn't lost in 17 fights as a pro. Boxing's biggest voices called it, on paper, the best matchup the sport had ever made. Then the bell rang.
Look for early on here.
Oh, he picks it up midway point. I think trying to check out his plan, see what and he'll pick it up midway point.
More than 900 times. 2003.
An absurd pro record of between their amateur.
Where he was going to be.
Loma comes with a
Lomachenko just looks so much bigger than you. So much bigger.
Got the 3-inch height out the entire day. And how could he break free? And referee Steve Willis here tonight.
Well, Rigondeaux needs to get close in order to get his work off. That's when he does his.
Getting a little closer is Lomachenko. He's just touching Rigo on the inside.
Watch Lomachenko's jab. It is incredibly swift.
Coming with a he's comfortable in. End of round one for the title.
Round one went how nobody expected. Competitive, close, Rigondeaux actually landing clean. For a moment, it looked like the hype was right, that this really might be the best fight ever made. It was the last time all night that anyone would think that.
It worked, but that is exactly what he was complaining about to the referee and showing him that's what.
Lomachenko says he learned against Orlando Salido.
It's sturdy, not fazed by all the movement that Lomachenko's doing. Looks like he's in total control.
Guillermo Rigondeaux. Bernie, what can you tell us?
Pedro Diaz, who told him, go win points. Very simple, very precise instructions.
I mean, it's about points, of course, but the thing clinched him again.
Lomo trying to get to the inside behind that jab. There's another moment there, and on what was assumed to be a break, he connected.
Well-oiled machine. He can fight any name it.
And that has a lot to came about with a unique fine boxing for a little bit, Mark.
When he was best footwork in boxing.
National Ukrainian dance classes. And Timmy, you love here at the conclusion of round number 2. Holding behind the neck now by Rigondeaux.
By round 2, Lomachenko had already found his rhythm. Angles Rigondeaux couldn't solve, output he couldn't match. And in Rigondeaux's corner, something else was starting. Complaints about his left hand, the first sign of an excuse that would define the rest of the night.
World title fight, and it has really heated up, mostly because of the action we saw in that final minute of a break. And he landed a solid play, what we saw in round number 2. A moment here as men come with exchange. There was the uppercut, and then the straight short left.
And the answer for Lomachenko, but a double jab.
Left hand of Rigondeaux.
Look at Rigondeaux, able to duck down, get off to the side, stay just, and I mean range of some of those punches. The moments when you watch Lomo, witnessed Mark stuck with the tennis ball, quarters in midair.
He's trained for dexterity, both physical and mental. And the moment where he's so well drilled that he can think.
What do you see, Tim?
I don't know. His facial expression, the way he's reacting. You know, there's nothing that he can do right now besides hold to keep Lomachenko off of him.
Lomo was able to land a left hand underneath that right elbow. Left hand to the body moments ago here in round 3. Tripling.
He is playing.
Look like any other fighter. He has what Pacquiao had, what Ali had. Looks like Lomachenko
parts, the most entertaining parts.
By round 3, Rigondeaux said the pain had gotten worse. His corner believed it might actually be broken, serious enough that a trip to the hospital for x-rays was already being arranged before the fight was even over. Whatever was happening inside that glove, it was real to him.
Fourth round of our championship fight. Timmy, let's go back and show Vasily.
Right here, you're going to see Vasily Lomachenko throws 3 uppercuts. Guess what? He saw how his man reacted. He dropped right in front of him, and he split his guard with the uppercut.
Just the fact to throw a triple, Vasily Lomachenko. Let's check in with our ringside reporter, Bernardo Osuna.
Frustration in the blue corner of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Pedro Diaz basically threw water in his face, said, "You've got to take, see."
You know, it's interesting because we've talked about that for months, since the time that he accepted his fight. You can't take this fight without knowing that you're going to have to take risks, Mark.
Well, I mean, Rigondeaux says that he's taken all.
It's just a matter of time, guys.
He can clown it, but it's Loma. Look at this. Get him in a defensive posture. Know that he's got him pinned around you in the middle of a championship fight.
Lomachenko hasn't even turned it up yet. Midway point. Just watch. Just watch. Get down.
This undefeated world champion, and he's
All set up by his feet. Look at his feet. Look at his feet.
And he is riffing in there. A little space. Final minute of round 4. Goes back to the uppercut, then switches it up with the left hand as well. Comes to the inside, gets a little work in the kitchen.
Rigondeaux landed a nice shot in that exchange.
How about the body punch with the right hand? Now to the inside, the uppercut with the left hand as Rigo goes to the belt line.
Rigo getting old, or is he just outclassed?
At the very moment. But there's time still left, everybody. That's why I love boxing. You always have a chance.
Lomachenko dug to the base. Lomachenko.
It's just this whole lot of clinching.
Go now. Inviting him forward, often trying to set traps, but not able to deliver.
By round 4, the numbers told the story better than anyone's eyes could. Rigondeaux, a fighter who had never lost as a professional, was landing fewer than 3 punches a round against a bigger man who'd built his legend-making world champions look amateur.
Tonight by the champ, Vasily Lomachenko.
Rigondeaux says everything, nothing worse.
Anatoly to be what he is seeking to be, and that is the perfect fighter, the most skilled fighter to ever live. That relationship with Anatoly Mark.
It's usually a failed experiment to create a perfect athlete in any sport. As dangerous and treacherous as this one, the strength and conditioning coach, Cecilio, you know. Anatoly turned to him and said, well, he was conceived.
And then someone will look at the record and say, yeah, but what about that one loss? When folks went on your second pro fight and you make that transition to the pro ranks, guy comes in overweight, rough his service to the sport for many years because we started overvaluing the 0 in the loss column. But all the guys ready to fight for a world title until you've learned from a loss.
Oh, I don't think your career becomes a dramatic proposition until you lose. A loss is the most overrated.
Become an issue with the clinching. Tried to dig to the body. That was blocked by the elbows of Loma.
I'm going to tell you this. It's really hard hitting a guy that's going down so low like that. It really is.
That time he turned to give an angle with the right hand.
Well, Lomachenko, there's nothing that he hasn't seen, and he's going to find a way on how to hit this man while he's down like that.
What would you be doing, Tim?
Well, I would go to the side he leans to. I would throw my right hook like he's there right there. That's what I would do.
Since 2003, the best he's got is ducking and holding.
Murray threw his punch with the most intent that we've seen tonight. Look at Lomo at lock that time, looking over to the referee. I think Steve Willis is going to have a lot of work ahead of him as we get to these middle and later rounds here of this world title fight as Loma's in control.
This wasn't the first time this had happened to a Lomachenko opponent. Rigondeaux was about to become the 4th fighter in a row who couldn't find a way to keep going against him, a pattern that was starting to say more about Lomachenko than about any of the men he'd beaten.
There is a big gap between the guy who's number 2.
For a guy who considers himself a gentleman sportsman, Lomachenko, he certainly adapted a dirtied up style, wouldn't you say, Tim?
That he learned from the Salido fight that he was missing in his repertoire, you know? And I like Get out. If you want to be dirty, I'm going to be dirty right back. If the ref doesn't want to do anything about it,
Bernardo, what can you offer?
You know, in the corner, it was very interesting because they told him, we want you to spin. That's what changed. And you'll remember what he told us in the fighter meetings. Lomachenko said, I only need
experience. Put a notch in the belt. And now he's dealing with it perfectly here against Rigondeaux. And you can see he's getting a little more in those right hands. Now turns to the side.
Tim, how do you solve Lomachenko? How do you attempt to if you're Rigondeaux?
all I'm going to say is that I don't think that person is born yet. I truly believe that. His footwork.
There's a point deduction now. We're down on the scorecards, seemingly.
Green Jonathan Butler did a study in Cuban fighters, and he said that Rigondeaux's face was the saddest I've seen on the island. And that pathos is what I saw in the corner there. The defeated guy.
A hero to countrymen. And then Fidel Castro called a traitor. Deep into the autumn of his career, he is finding the most skilled fighter in the world opposite him. Another combination. As we come to the end of round number 6 here. Discussion going on in the corner of Rigondeaux here in between the 6th and 7th round as they're looking at the tape. He is saying I don't want any more. Are you kidding me? The undefeated number 7 pound-for-pound fighter is not coming out to continue against Loma. Beaten down, hopeless, without an answer, and Lomachenko has made Rigondeaux quit.
In the dressing room afterward, Rigondeaux didn't dodge it. I lost, but it was because of my hand, he told reporters. Lomachenko's own promoter, Bob Arum, wasn't buying it. Where did he hurt his hand? Arum asked. In the dressing room. Days later, the x-rays came back. No fracture, just swelling, and some bruising on the knuckles. One of the most decorated amateur boxers in history, a man who'd never lost as a professional, had just walked away from the biggest fight of his life over an injury that was never actually broken. Rigondeaux fought on after this night, but he never fully outran it. Records show wins and losses. His shows the night a legend quit.